Alright, we got a gazillion screws to take out of this massive heat sink. Let's go ahead and check one to see if it is stainless or brass. We definitely have some brass little washers. No, they're definitely not brass screws. Check it with a magnet. Okay, they're all magnetic, so that makes things a lot easier. It's all about collecting these little brass washers, though. There's so many of them. Tons of them. Sure, it's not going to be that much, but I don't want to just throw them in the steel pile since they're right there. Super easy to get off, just takes an extra second. They just fall right off. But a second times 100 screws, that's an extra couple minutes. I think it'll be alright. Just need a vessel to put these in. Let's just loosen them all first, see if we can get it to go faster. Sometimes as you go, you gotta find the easiest way to not waste as much time. And I feel that's wasting too much time. So we'll just loosen them all up. And then we'll come back and grab them all out. Reminds me of the antenna horns, whatever you want to call them, on a satellite dish with just a ridiculous amount of screws per circuit board, just littered with them. Seems a little overkill, but I guess it serves some sort of purpose other than just keeping it secure. I think there's another purpose for them. If you know, please feel free to inform us in the comments. It's a forearm workout, I'll tell you. collect all the screws and the little brass washers. I'm just going to let them collect. Well, try to let them collect in this little bottom area. This one don't want to come out. Did I miss it? Very tedious. I'm all sticking to my arm over in this pile. Jeez. And this is one of the biggest heat sinks I think I've ever come across. I may have had one a little bigger before, but this is massive. It's so heavy. Don't know if it's just the heat sink that's heavy. I'm sure it has something to do with it, but goodness. It's a big one. I guess some people were saying this is some kind of power supply, which makes sense. But it came from the Mobile MRI place. They just toss all this stuff in the dumpster with their trash. You know, they don't even try to scrap it. I've scrapped a few things out from them before. Some really high-end air conditioning units. I don't even know if they're air conditioning units because they're hooked up to some kind of water where you can either heat or cool the water that they use with cooling the MRI machines, possibly, because they do get hot. I'm pretty sure, with the massive magnet. I didn't even know mobile MRIs existed until I found this place. But man, they got a lot of good stuff that they throw out. If you saw my recent short, you saw how much wires and stuff that they threw out, and that was just one little corner of the dumpster. A lot of times they throw out all these MRI circuit boards, and from what I understand, the MRI circuit boards are worth the most money. That and X-ray machine boards. So I'm saving a bunch of them up. I saw something that said MRI boards on Board Sort were like $8 a pound or something. Somebody let me know if you know for sure about MRI boards and if you've ever had any MRI boards before, because I've got quite the collection going. And I'm probably just going to hold on to them because it's only going to go up, right? I'm assuming they have decent amount of gold recovery, being that it's medical stuff. They probably are close to military grade. Everything's gold and brass and silver and just fancy. Fancy. Let's get these boards off and take a look at why they were all screwed in so much. Not really sure. But we'll take a look at the board underneath it, because it could have a nice silver coating on it, being, again, that it's medical boards. I don't know how to tell the difference between silver solder or non-silver solder. Couldn't think of the word. Tin coated. There you go. So how do you know if it's tin coated versus silver coated? Other than doing an acid test. I believe it's nitric acid. And if it's only determined by a nitric acid test, what color does it have to turn to be considered silver? Is it blue or green or something? I think I've done it before. Testing the silver contacts out of breaker panels. These little wires are tough, man. Let's just snap it. I'm already wasting our time here. So nothing jumps out as super special on these boards. I'm sure they're expensive boards anyhow. Nothing on the back. I don't even know if they're considered mid-grade or not. Pick up all these pieces that I dropped. A bazillion more screws. Would you look at that? Don't think there's any brass washers under there, which is good. So we can just zip them out and go. going to try to be 1 or 2 seconds per screw. Otherwise, you're playing around too long with it and your profit margin is going down. Project Shop mentioned something about that, and others. He just stands out as the one that always talks about it. He said the more you play with your scrap, the less valuable it becomes. You know, the more times you have to touch it and move it and whatever. So try to go 1 second between getting to the next screw or faster. Not, 30 seconds. Good thing these screws don't strip easily. That'd be a pain in the ass. Alright, let's get a good look at this one. Get all these little things, play Plinko to get all these things down to the bottom. Plinko. Alright. Dropping stuff left and right. So check that out. How do I know if that's silver? By just looking at it. It's very shiny. It's not dull, really. It's super light flashing, but I mean the whole board, right? So definitely feels pretty heavy. Don't know if it's just because of this thing on there, but it's definitely heavier than any other board that's that size. Pretty thick board. So we'll hold on to that until we figure out what it is. Ooh. I think these are going to be number 2 copper. Maybe that's why. This is so heavy. Yep. I forget what these are called, but they are number 2 copper. And I believe they'll take it the way it is. Let's go ahead and pull one off just to look at it. Test these screws, and they are magnetic, so don't have to worry about them. Alright, that's not going to come off, is it? No, it's just stuck on there. See if we can get this cleaned up anymore. There it is. definitely worth cleaning up because that's pretty heavy. Number 2 copper right there. You can see it on the sides, but that's pretty heavy for that piece right there. So I think I'm gonna have to get that black stuff off, but it comes off really easily if I put it in my cable cutters. A little tedious. I guess it could go as number 3 copper, but I'd rather clean it up and get that number 2 copper price, because most of your weight's there, not in the black stuff. I mean, that weighs, I don't know, we'll have to check it on the scale, but I'd go as far to say as that's like an ounce or half an ounce each piece, which is great. Yeah. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Forearm workout. All right, another roll down. Now for all of these. anybody has any suggestions on editing, I use an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I would love to edit my videos where I could put this into a time lapse, at least that part. Because I always upload the videos raw. Never edited a video in my life, other than like shortening a video on my phone. But is there an application I can download for free, or do I need to purchase an application to be able to edit my videos into time lapse / regular all in the same video? Let me know. I would love to know, because this tedious stuff is annoying to not edit out. Alright, so let's show you a heat sink. And we still got another half of the whole thing to do. But now that we know how to do it quicker, we can do it quicker next time. Look at this. Massive. Look at that up against my tire. Huge, right? And this is a 30-inch tire? Wheel. I don't know. Big fucking tire, big fucking heat sink, big fucking money. Extruded. Hopefully they'll get me extruded for that. And all these number 2 copper pieces, we'll pop those off, clean those up, and we'll hopefully get a total on both. So, pretty cool. If you like what you're seeing, you want to see some more breakdowns of MRI stuff, I got some fuse panels to take apart, and I've already took one apart. There's like multiple layers of all these connectors, and some of them are copper and not brass, which is even better. Let me show you. You can see the pink color on there. But yeah, those all came out of one. And I got about 6 or 7 or maybe 8 of them to take apart. Bigger ones, smaller ones, all sorts of ones, cast aluminum ones. We came across a lot of stuff this weekend when I sold off those reels and catalytic converters. All sorts of stuff, man. So, we got a lot of work to do. Come back and see some more.